fantastic Test cricket. It's been hard to take your eyes off any of the cricket that we've seen. Pakistan have manoeuvred themselves into a very strong position. England will need their highest ever run chase in Asia, and they'll need to make more runs than anybody has ever made chasing in the fourth innings in Pakistan, apart from Australia, a great Australian side who made more in Karachi in 1994. So that's a measure of the task in front of England. Obviously, they showed tonight, without sending in a night watchman, that final shot from Joe Root, that they're going to have a crack at it. You wouldn't expect anything less from a side led by Ben Stokes, and they've got a lot of belief in that side, but it is extremely tough ask in front of them.
But they will not shirk the challenge.
They won't shirk the challenge, and they made some errors today. They dropped 2 critical chances when Salman Ali Agha had made 4 and 6, without which they're probably chasing maybe 80, 90, 100 fewer. The lead was below 200 at that point. But you had to admire the way England stuck at it in the field. I noticed there were a couple of occasions. Ollie Pope chased a ball down here late in the day. Ben Stokes ran 30 yards to say, well done. That brilliant bit of fielding from Duckett at long on. So their effort was unstinting, but they'll look back, the fielding coach or the assistant coach, with regret at the 2 chances dropped in the slips, 2 costly chances.
Yeah, there were. Look, in the context of the game, you can turn around and say they are. The one thing of the nature of this pitch, because it's so slow, I mean, effectively tomorrow is going to be the 9th day that's being played on this pitch, but the keepers and the slips, and we've seen the slips with their helmets on, they're so close to the stumps and to the batter that any chance is a difficult chance. Now, out of the ones that Jamie Smith took, you would probably say that was the easier one out of them, but it can happen. It's so unnatural, I guess, to be standing so close on these kind of surfaces.
Yeah,
but
that was the easy one for Jamie Smith. Root, as you say, he's stood so close. He's under a helmet, and he's probably 3 or 4 yards closer than Jamie Smith.
Yeah, so reaction time. Obviously, it's less reaction time when it comes to these kind of catches. And look, nobody wants to drop catches, but at least the guys are brave enough to come closer towards the stumps and give themselves a chance for it to carry in the first place.
Bad batsman to drop, isn't he, Salman Ali Agha? Because you've seen him before when he's at number 7. It's almost a specialist position for him. And then when he gets with the tail, he's a very difficult batter to shut down.
Yeah, he's dangerous. It's hard to. He hits into the pockets. He seems to be able to find the boundary when he wants to, and he's built some good partnerships in the back end, and that's what hurts here as a team. You're hoping to kind of run through the tail, but they put some in good partnerships, just like I guess Leachy and Bashir did this morning. We put on 30 for the last wicket partnership, and it'd be frustrating for the opposition when that happens.
Brydon Carse is in the middle of an outstanding 5-over spell there. You must be unbelievably impressed with the way he's bowled both the first Test match and today here in the second.
Yeah, well, look, there's usually a bit more grass when he bowls back home in Durham, so the skills tend to be slightly different. But look, I think everyone who's watched him over the last couple of Test matches will be, be amazed on how he's gone with a reverse swinging ball. He's really bashed the wicket hard, and he's got good skills. He's very, very accurate with pace. And I think his stamina out of anything, it's been 30-odd degrees heat all the way through these Test matches. And for him to keep coming back and bowling mid-130s up to 140s, he's putting, opposition batters under pressure.
Come on then, what chance tomorrow?
Look, we've got to be realistic. It's going to be difficult. As I said, it's, with the amount of cracks that are on the pitch, we're trying to put I'm not saying experiment, but just having a look at the heavy roller to see what kind of effect that'll have on the pitch.
If it's working, it'd stop working this morning.
They had to push that on this morning. But just to see if it, the good part of the surface, I guess, trying to take that spin away from the good part. If you get one that hits a crack, well, so be it. But it'll be one hell of an effort if we can actually. There'll be belief in the dressing room. It's as simple as that. We've done some special things in the past. We've broken records in the past, but we've got to be realistic as well. It'll be a tough chase.
Can't be, and you won't be static as batsmen, though, will you? It seems like you're a bit of a sitting duck if you're poking and prodding.
Well, we all know that. Look, we've watched enough cricket throughout in the history of cricket. It'll tell you, the stats will tell you that when you're chasing on day 4 anywhere around the world, no matter on a pitch that's 9 days old, if you just prod around and don't try to put the bowler under pressure, you're going to get caught in in the close fielders there. So, we're not going to go away from our mantra. Our mantra is always to soak up pressure when we need to, but apply pressure in as much pressure as you possibly can when you get the opportunity. And we'll see how the pitch plays in the morning. I would be expecting it to keep turning. So there'll be plenty of sweeps and reverse sweeps, and that's the way the batters like to go about it.
Rain forecast all day tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sure. We're going for the win.
Of course you are, yeah.
Appreciate time. Bring some extra diesel for the heavy roller if you want to give that experiment. Thank you very much,
Cheers,
Collie.
thank
Thanks
you.
a lot. I believe Salman Ali Agha can come and join us. Come in the middle in between myself and Michael.
Hello.
Very nice to see you. Very nice to meet you, actually.
Nice to meet you. Well
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How does that feel? Very well played.
Yeah, it's always feel nice when you score runs for your team, and yeah, I'm very happy for that.
What was the key to your batting today in terms of the tempo that you batted at?
To be honest, there were lots of things happening, so I just wanted to be as positive as I can and play my shots, and that's what I did, and luckily it works, and lucky escape as well.
If you are a little bit static, we're just talking to Paul Collingwood about this, do you feel more vulnerable if you're just defending as opposed to trying to put pressure back on the bowler?
Yeah, there is a lot of things happening. If you only defend, I think there will be a one ball who will get you out. So as long as you are on the crease, you need to make sure you score runs. I think that's the thing we need to go.
And this position at number 7 is something you become very used to now, batting with the lower order, batting with the tail. I think across both innings, the last 4 wickets for Pakistan have added 178 runs, so it's been a vital part of the game. Do you enjoy batting with the tail?
Yeah, I do, to be honest. And it's been since I have arrived in the team, I have been batting 7. Initially I used to complain, but now obviously,
You want to get further up the order?
but it's just something now I have to accept and I have to do well. And the second thing you had, we have scored 100 plus run in both innings. That's what we talk all the time, because I think, and our team thinks, if we add more runs, low order batsmen, it will be help, because that's the kind of runs when you obviously sometimes you need to score runs, because we were about to score 230, and then that partnership with me and Sajid, now we are 300, so they are always better runs.
How challenging is it facing the reverse swing?
It is very challenging, because in these wickets you can't score runs because the ball goes softer and it's reversing, and when you hit, the ball doesn't go any further than in the ring. So it is very hard, but as a professional you have to accept it and you have to deal with that.
Can I ask about the changes that Pakistan have made to the team? I mean, significant changes, and almost a reversal of the policy of going with the quicker bowlers and grass on the pitch to 7 spinners. As players, do you just put all that to your back of the mind and it doesn't have any effect on the dressing room? Or do you look and say, well, it's such a dramatic change from one test to the other, it's a little bit unsettling?
Yeah, to be honest, I was thinking it's going to be hard, because there was a lot of changes and big changes. But the way team have gelled in and the way new guys come in and we welcome them, and they come in and they are chipping in. Look at Sajid took 7 wickets and scored important runs. And then you see Nasser Ali, he came and took wickets and scored important runs. I think it's very good for Pakistan cricket, and the way they came and gelled in and contributing, that's amazing.
Given the result in the first test, given what Michael has just asked you about the changes, what would it mean to this team and group of players if you can get the job done and win tomorrow?
Oh, it's going to be massive, because we haven't won a test match at home for God knows how many years now. So it's going to be a very, very big thing for us, and we will make sure we will put all the efforts there and make sure we win this game, because that's very important for us.
Well played, and very nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank
You have some other media obligations, I believe. Superb in terms of marshalling the tail, as you say. Hi, Nas. Superb, as you say, marshalling the tail. I mean, you'd say when you look at him as a batsman, he could play a lot higher up the order, but that's quite a challenge, which he seems to be getting right.
I would know that it's a specialist position, because I've seen a lot of top order batters, play with the tail very nicely as well, but it's a position that he's become very used to, and we saw it 2 years ago here. He was very, very good batting with the tail 2 years ago, so England know exactly the danger that he poses down the order, and I think that was Nasser mentioned on commentary when he saw Ben Stokes being unusually animated after those 2 drops. A number of reasons for that, obviously the game on the line, but I suspect he thought, this is the guy we don't want to be dropping, because he's very, very dangerous with the tail.
We saw it with Kamindu Mendes, didn't we, in the summer with Sri Lanka. He was in that number 7 role, number 6 role, and they've now moved him up, and that's a decision Pakistan will have to take, because their middle order actually, on these times that they've lost 6 test matches, it's been that middle order Rizwan, Saud Shakil, and him that have got them out of jail. So they played beautifully.
How would you sum up the day? Have your say on events?
Fascinating, absolutely brilliant day of Test match cricket. Last 2 days have been incredibly watchable. Not an uneven contest. They've not gone the other way. Sometimes you overreact. I don't know if you can in Pakistan. I don't know if you can make a pitch that's too bowler friendly. They've certainly not done that, as you can see by the runs that have been scored. As you can see from Salman Ali Agha, runs down the order. Can't be that much of a minefield if tail-enders are getting runs in on it. So England still have a chance.
Yep.
Root, the key wicket. My only concern is Stokes being out of rhythm with batting and hasn't batted for so long. Stokes, this is made for a Stokes situation. How many times have we said that? He loves this sort of run chase. How many times has he done it? Just whether he's had enough time in the middle when he starts against spin to do it again tomorrow.
My quip about the rain was only because we've not seen a cloud in the sky for 4 days, but there's no way.
It was a cloudy day yesterday. What are you on about? It was cool.
No way England won't be thinking about the win. They could have easily put a night watchman in there tonight, but didn't. Last ball of the day, most batsmen will come propping forward to try and keep the ball out, reverse hard swept 4. And I think just the way England have played over a 2-3 year period under Ben Stokes and Brendan McCullum, they've got a lot of self-belief that they can win from any situation. But Paul Collingwood's absolutely right. As observers, and he's an observer, he's not a player now, you look at it with a degree of realism as well. Nobody has made this, certainly England have never made this many runs batting fourth in Asia before, and only one team have made as many in Pakistan. So the reality of the situation is that Pakistan are in a very strong position, are favourites to level this game. But England have that belief, and they will come out with a feeling they have a chance of winning this game.
And a definite change in game plan as the right-handers. Sajid, who got 7 wickets in the first innings, bowled that very attacking line outside off, and you saw Brooke and Pope try and open up the offside with, bats that were leaving gaps between bat and pad. Everything out there now, they are either sweeping or reverse sweeping. So it'll be fascinating if Sajid comes round the wicket to try and bowl a tighter line and get LBW into play. They are not letting him settle with that outside off line.
You haven't seen the 2 wickets that England have lost in their run chase. We can show you them now. Ben Duckett was the first to go. Sweeping, I mean, that's like him breathing, isn't it? We can't be too critical about that.
You can't praise Duckett for that 100 in the first innings, the foundation of which was his sweep shot, and then be unduly critical when he gets out to it in the second innings. It's a shot that brings him so many runs, but every batter who plays shots that brings them runs, occasionally it gets them out as well. But you'd have to say, over the years, that for Duckett, the risk-reward is in his favour with that shot. I'm not sure how good a shot this is for Zach Crawley. He's not quite as comfortable as Duckett against spin. He's not quite got his game plan quite sorted out. Ball spinning away, hurtling down the pitch, a bit more risk there.
Good bit of bowling, though.
Yeah.
He'd gone 6K slower. Quick, slow. And, when you bowl it slow, you get that drop and that, that spin away. Good take from Rizwan as well. So that was
they're quite different, aren't they? Sajid is you can see he really wants to get a lot of energy on it. And no man is such an old-fashioned bowler.
Bedi sort of type bowler.
Yeah,
Monty Panesar and gets it up and down.
That kind of a bowler. Phil Tufnell that we played with a lot. Lovely flight bowler.
Does Shan trust his leggy?
Well, that'll be interesting tomorrow because with runs, he's got to defend the target and England coming hard. At the moment, it doesn't look like he does, and he's going to stick with these 2. So that's what England have got to do. Go to their third spinner, get them to their third spinner, and then he's going to bowl more poor deliveries. Leg spinners, apart from the great man we played against and worked with, Shane, most leg spinners bowl you poor deliveries. So that'll be a good test tomorrow for Shan's captaincy as well. He's lost 6 from 6. It's going to be a good test.
It's tricky though, isn't it? You've got all those spinners. It's a bit like if you play 5 seamers. You never have a session of 30 overs where you can fit all 5 seamers in. And that problem is accentuated with the spinners because your spinners are going to bowl, your main spinners are going to bowl much longer spells than your quicker bowlers. You might bowl, say, 5 overs. But, Sajid and Noman Ali, you want to give them 8, 9, 10 overs if they're not taking a wicket. So sometimes it's quite difficult to get all your spinners in when you've got that many.
Well, I mean, people will say, well, this justifies the decision to have 7 spinners. All I would say to that is that If 3 spinners aren't doing it, I'm not sure you need 7. And if 3 spinners are doing it, you definitely don't need 7. So I know some of those spinners are part-time spinners, but the 2 that are bowled tonight, they're going to do the bulk of the overs.
We just spoke to Salman, and he said facing reverse swing on this pitch was particularly challenging. That is another area where Pakistan have only got one option.
Yeah, Amir Jamal was not handled as well. He had to, because England went and Duckett went after the spinners, he had to come into the attack early. You look at what Stokes did today. He went with spin early for a long time, and it's around about the 35th, 40th over in either innings, slightly earlier today, because maybe it reversed. I cannot give enough praise for Brydon Carse. From what I've seen in 2 test matches, on these pitches, the way he has reversed it, the heart, the effort, the pace, the skill, Carse has been, I mean, Potts has been really good, but Carse has been wonderful.
And Shoaib Bashir with the ball today.
Yeah, he picked up 4 wickets. He had a bit of confidence before lunch, I think, from the bat probably. I was speaking to him actually before the game began at the back of the nets, and he was saying how he wanted to really improve his batting. He stuck aroand for 19 balls. Helt had 29 with Leach, who made a good 25. So he came out for this little spell before lunch, probably a bit buoyed by that. Hadn't been at his best in the series so far, but I thought he found the right pace and the right line generally. A couple of good ones to the left-handers, maybe a bit fortunate with the tickle down the leg side to Abdullah Shafiq, but generally bowled pretty well throughout the day, yeah.
Should he have gone for that catch?
I think so, yeah. I mean, he was right on the boundary. Maybe he was a little bit in the shade, trying to protect himself. I thought there was a chance, as you said on commentary, buy a ticket. He was a bit too deep as well. I was sat next to Atherton, who was writing away his Times piece, and we looked up and we thought he was a bit deep. You don't need to be right on the fence. And then here, he never really bought a ticket.
My point with that is we've been praising rightly all through the day when it's been hot, chasing balls, Roots or Stokes, Pope diving down here. He's had 2 massive shoulder operations. They want people to buy a ticket.
I mean, when I spoke to Ben Stokes, we interviewed Ben Stokes the day before the game, and I asked him the question, have you seen things in the 4 games that you've not been captain, when you've been sat on the balcony watching, have you seen things slightly differently? And he said, you know what, it's all the little things that himself and Brendan McCullum have been trying to instill into this team. And I said, what little things? He said, you know, chasing lost causes, diving full length to drag the ball back in. And we saw that fantastic example from Pope. Brilliant bit of fielding from Duckett at long on. You know, England are behind the game. They may well lose the game. Who knows? They might not. But you still have to admire the unstinting effort here in pretty brutal conditions throughout the day.
And why do you do that? Why do you have to keep your standards up? Because in this format, in Test match cricket, you can work your socks off for 4 days, but it can come down to 1 over and 4 balls where the 2 drops come. A lad on 4 and 6, Salman Ali Agha, they take him 1 of those, and that's where Jamie Smith, I feel for Jamie Smith. He has put in such a shift for 4 days, or will have done. I think he could be remembered for the regulation drop, and that is why it's so hard as a wicketkeeper, and that's why Test cricket is the best format, because you'll play so well, and just 1 over, the game can go away from you.
It's an immense challenge for England tomorrow. 261 more runs needed on this pitch, and they're already 2 down. But it's going to be fun watching.
It's been a great Test match. I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed watching it far more than the first Test match. There were fantastic moments in the first Test match. Root becoming England's leading run scorer, Harry Brook becoming only the 6th to make 300 for England. But they're kind of milestones. And in terms of the battle between bat and ball and the contest out in the middle, it's been hard to take your eyes off the action. It's been absolutely fantastic for 3 days. We'll have a wonderful 4th day, I'm sure, tomorrow. Pakistan favourites, but England will give it a go.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something. You down tools already?
I'm done. Well, you just cannot follow that, I'm afraid.
We best go. Nasser's given up. England haven't given up, but they do need 261 more runs to win.